Military pilots in Taiwan scramble whenever Chinese jets head toward Taiwan airspace. They never know when it'll be the real thing. It's happening more and more often, the flexing of forces. And air drills aren't the only thing Taiwan is doing to prepare itself for a potential Chinese invasion. So if you're wondering why China would invade Taiwan and whether the US would step in to stop it, let me explain. Let's start with why China would want to take over Taiwan. Some Chinese leaders fled to Taiwan to escape the communist takeover back in 1949.
On Formosa, renamed Taiwan, more than 10 million Chinese remain free.
Since then, mainland China has seen the island as a breakaway province. China wants Taiwan back, calling for reunification. According to US Department of Defense officials, China could reclaim the island within the next decade. China has about 2 million active duty troops, and they're updating their weaponry to build a world-class military. Yeah, intimidating. Fortunately for Taiwan, it sits across a large body of water, and it's been preparing for years, spending more than $15 billion to buy everything from US military jets to missiles. But Taiwan has far fewer troops than China, according to the CIA, only about 170,000. Zach Cooper, senior fellow at the American Enterprise Institute with expertise in the region, says it really comes down to how confident Chinese President Xi Jinping is feeling.
This is a hard thing to do. And oh, by the way, you have to do this against potentially not just Taiwan, but also the United States and maybe even Japan, the world's #1 and #3 biggest economies.
That's right. The US frequently sends its warships into the Straits of Taiwan to remind China of its presence.
Indeed, we must be doing everything possible to deter conflict. Our #1 job is to keep the peace.
So it begs the question, why does the US care so much about Taiwan that it would potentially go to war for the island? Reason 1, military operations. The US uses the tiny island as a military foothold in a part of the world that hosts our biggest threats, China and Russia. US State Department spokesperson Ned Price talked about this in August.
Stability across the strait is an important principle that not only we seek to uphold, but that we've discussed with our partners in the region, including Japan.
That brings us to the second reason the US would step in, our ties to Japan. Japan relies on Taiwanese waters for a lot of its imports and claims some islands that are really close by, including the Senkaku Islands, which sit in the East China Sea 200 miles off the coast of Taiwan. Both Japan and China insist those islands are their own. In early October, Japan's prime minister said he spoke to President Biden and confirmed they'd work together to maintain regional security. Reason 3, technology. After all, Taiwan is the global leader in creating semiconductor chips, which are used in everything from computers to cars.
If you can imagine China taking Taiwan, the next day you might wake up and find that actually we can't build iPhones anymore.
All the more reason for the US to maintain, as the State Department calls it, strong, unofficial relations with Taiwan. We don't officially recognize Taiwan as an independent country or maintain an embassy there because taking a hard stance against China is a politically and economically dangerous move. So what are your thoughts? If China invades Taiwan, should the US step in? Let me know in the comments. And don't forget to hit the Straight Arrow Bias Meter.